In this lonely ass world, it's getting colder. I'm not going nowhere if I cannot take my boat there. My mind was bred a little different, yeah, from my own past. If I see heat, why the fuck would I wanna go there? Mama, I make you smiling. Mama, your little nigga came from wildin'. Mama, always got in trouble, I was shouted. Mama, now I'm staring at shit. Mama, I'm the pilot. Mama, if I want something, I'ma go get it. Mama, swim with the sharks, piranhas, and fishes. Mama, it's so hard down here, God is my witness. Mama, I know where I'm going. Mama, I'm a fan. It's hard not knowing who is really gonna be there for me. I wish you could be here to see me the day I start touring. Shit be on my mind every second when I'm not recording. I'm waking up conversating with the Lord every morning. I mistakenly took the wrong path, I had to rewind. I fumbled trying to move too fast, I had to keep trying. Growing up, I got in trouble, told myself to keep lying. So much stress be building up, swear I be needing me time.
Good morning to the DMV and the rest of the world. This is your girl Reese, aka the best that ever did it, aka AM Morning, aka you know who it is. Well, today is Juneteenth. Happy Juneteenth, you guys. For all of you who don't know what it is, sit back, relax, and we will explain it to you today during the course of our show. Well, you know I don't ride alone. Well, I'm not alone today. Anyway, I have my very beautiful and capable brother, Molly Moss, the Sea Moss Boss, which is also the producer of the show. Hey, Molly. And I got my girl Friday here on a Monday.
What?
Michelle Pucciarelli. Hey,
hi. How are you? Good morning. Happy Juneteenth.
Good morning. Well, Grand Rising. It's a grand
Rising. It is a grand rising. Yeah. It's a beautiful day.
Yes, I got to stop saying good morning too and program myself to say Grand Rising.
Grand Rising. All right, so I have a question for you then.
Yeah.
Why say Grand Rising instead of good morning?
Because what the word means, maybe Molly, we'll get into that later and we can tell you what good means. Okay. My son told me it means go odd. And why would we tell somebody go have an odd day? So, you know, the word origin, I'm learning, you know, but you know Betty's supposed to do better. But we also have my beautiful songbird here today with us, and my little sunny son, Mr. Trayvon Gray. Good morning, honey. Well, I know he's here, but he was here. Wait a minute. What happened? Trey? Good morning.
Yeah, I might.
Good morning. Oh, where'd he go?
Oh, he just bleeped out. What is
I got my coffee for this one. My favorite. Just gonna say
it. Are you drinking Starbucks?
Shameless plug, yes. Starbucks. I drink so much of this. I told you. This is what keeps me alive.
Tiska. We supposed
to be
on the budget. You gotta get percolating, brewing your own. You gotta get
time for the percolator.
It's time for the percolator. Exactly.
Like I said, when I move into my new place, I'll be having a coffee maker. So I will make sure that I'm frugal with spending my money, not totally keeping myself alive on Starbucks alone.
Right, because that's not a can't live off of Starbucks alone, baby. We try to wait for Trey to get in, and Brother Hakeem must have had an awesome Father's Day because he is nowhere to be found. He better come up with the Freedom Show tonight. We don't even know if that's still in cahoots. Brother Hakeem, where you at? If you out there, send a smoke signal. Send us something.
Not a smoke signal.
Yes. Good morning, Songbird. There go my Songbird.
Good morning, love. How are you?
I'm good.
Hey, Miss Michelle. Good morning.
Good morning.
Oh, and then I hit something on my phone to exit me out, but the reason why we don't say good morning because the word itself, morning, is not something that's considered celebratory. So grand rising is supposed to be a better way of saying what's
Gotcha.
equivalent to good morning.
Because
Thank
we're
you.
not go
Good
hard and
morning
we're
is
not
never supposed to be a
morning.
good thing. So so I
Right.
started to adopt that a little bit more too and say grand rising versus saying good morning because I had a lot of people correct me and and I thought about it. And I was like, okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's grand rising, everybody. You only
Mhm.
mourning if you is from death. You know,
Yeah,
that's why
somebody,
you want
yeah,
to be
somebody
mourning.
passed.
I don't know about the good what Reese talking about. I don't know who
Go
told you
hard.
that. Go
That's it, right?
hard. Yeah, hey, you
Go
want to go
hard.
hard.
Oh, I
But
don't want
it's
to go
really
hard.
about mourning. You know, you mourn somebody death. You know, you mourn
Yeah,
somebody's death. So to tell somebody good morning, that ain't good. You know, you want to tell
you
them
kind of
grand.
like putting something on them just by kind of
Where
you
did
know
it go to?
verbally the power of your words. I feel like you kind of putting something
We
on them, even though
saying
you're not trying to. I feel like you are because you're saying like.
we getting King on it or King. No,
Mm-hmm.
Ray,
What was
what
you saying
video
about
you want to
Juneteenth?
start with?
What you talk about?
I don't know.
I wanna excuse me, guys. I want to give a big shout out and a salute to all the fathers for Father's Day. We did that Friday. Salute you guys. But I also seen something yesterday that blew my mind. I was so happy and delighted, and it tickled me. Molly, do you have the video that I sent you just a little bit ago? It's the video. Can we play that?
I gotta know. You sent me 20 videos. Like which video? No, okay.
I got a poem that I want to read. If somebody could read it.
It's
Yeah,
not
from
a
Tyreek.
poem, then it's
Yeah.
not a
From
video. Then that's
Wait,
what
wait,
it
no,
Tyree.
is.
no, no. That's the poem I want to
No,
read.
she said somewhere
But
down the
then I
line that
also got a video before that.
All right, which video you want me to
what did
see?
the title say or what does the thumbnail look like? Like,
It's on stage. It's Mavis on stage. But while he's looking for that,
huh?
Trey, could you do the pleasures of reading the poem? Can you see it?
I can see it when it comes up to the screen because I can't separate on my phone. I can't separate myself from the streamline because it'll cut me off from the actual show. So if it's on the
Okay.
big screen, I can read it, but I can't separate it
Okay.
on my
I can't
phone.
see it on the screen.
It says, "To the father I never had. Thanks for showing me how not to be a man. Your absence was my greatest lesson. I'm grateful. I'm grateful. I'm grateful at last. I can I can make the mistakes that you have made. The lessons that I've learned. Um, the that I've learned are why I'm here today and why I'm much more concerned with being a better man, and not the one you are. I'm sorry, it's kind of hard to see. Your heart of stone could never teach me how to be a star. Wow. Your lack of presence has shown me just how not to be, and I'm grateful for that. Now that I can finally see that I've become the man that I meant to be, and it's all thanks to you for showing me how not to be a man, an example I can use. You never took the time to learn from life's mistakes. You chose to go your own way, and that's a decision you can't take back. Damn. You were never there for me, and yet I do not blame. I blame you for your absence, but your absence has been the greatest teacher. I'm grateful I can say. I've become a man that's strong, that's wise, and that's kind. Your lack of presence has been the greatest gift I could never find, for it has taught me how to be a man, and I am worth more than that. Now I can finally look in the mirror and be proud of what I have. Thanks for showing me how not to be a man. I've been the greatest lesson. I mean, it's been the greatest lesson. No matter how hard it is, I'm happy that it was me. It was me you had to bless. I'm grateful for the way I've grown and I've become who I am. Who I am to the father I never had. Thank you for teaching me how to not be a man.
Now I had
Oh,
Trey to read that. It's not a down thing because he's growing into his own and he's his own man.
He found his
But
own way.
right.
Yeah.
And even I'm saying this out to the children, to the men and women who don't have the presence of their physical fathers, because Tyree had other male figures in his life, like his uncles and his granddaddy and all of that. We all men can be a
But that
father,
personal
can be a
interaction,
mentor,
the
can be
personal
a
interaction of your dad, like, and I'll say on the record that I'm just over the last 4 years or so able to start to build a true connection with my dad.
mm,
So Trust me, I know the fresh feeling. Me and Tyree around the same age, so I know the impact on trying to figure out this world and trying to understand things that a man can't, only your dad can tell you. Only your dad can sit down and talk to you about. As much as your mom, your aunt, your sister, your cousin wants to try to be what that is. I live in a situation now, actually, that my aunt and my grandmother cannot replace what my dad or even my mom, should be doing. So I feel him, but the growth and finding yourself regardless, which I have done as well, I feel him.
Yeah.
And
I hope one thing I got out of listening to that. He's so deep out there. He's so deep. I love him. But you know what? I mean, I think through you, he's been blessed to have people in his life, whether, given the fact that it may not have been his father around, there have been men that have given him fatherly behavior and fatherly nurturing and fatherly love, if you will. I feel in my mind, some men have that seed planted in them. And this is words from Reverend Sylvia that I heard yesterday. Some men have that seed planted in them, that they are just men that feel they want to share and be kind and be the nurturers, protectors, and helpers, and it doesn't necessarily have to be like, I know people that have come up through the Big Brothers and Big Sisters of America, where they've had people in their life that have been that support. Again,
Boys and Girls Club,
but it was somebody, right? It was someone who cared, and that so out there, you're a caring woman. So by default, I know you've had men around him that have given that to him as well,
I think that it can be hurtful that, because it's a lot of things in life, and I'll say I'm only speaking up because I'm his age, pretty much. So there's a lot of things in life I wish I could be like, oh my dad. Well, realistic, I'm on live and my dad be watching this too. I wish I could be like, oh, my dad taught me this, or my mom did this. Oh yeah, I learned this. Nah, it's a lot of things like driving, even down to riding a bike, roller skating. That's like all them small little things that you think about growing up that you want to learn from your people. It hurts that you didn't get it from them like other people can say they did from their parents and stuff like that. But to say that you did find it yourself, the empowerment of getting there regardless and getting to, understanding yourself regardless, that's where the power lies. I fuck with him. Excuse my language, but I fuck with him for writing that.
When I was coming up, I didn't have my dad around either, but I had my granddaddy. And what I didn't realize, that I was like, well, where is my dad? And they was like, you got your granddaddy. I'm like, yeah, but I want my dad. It's because society put labels on people. I should have been wherever I was getting love and nurtured and that male guidance. That was your dad. That was but it was something about that word dad that when other kids were making Father's Day cards in school and the teacher was like, why are you crying? I'm like, because I don't have a dad. And the teacher said, well, you got a granddad, you got an uncle. And I would make my cards for my granddaddy. I would make, because it was the absence of that father. But I had a father figure there. But it's just something that when we put titles on people, like you can have a grandmother, but you want your mom. Or you can have your mom right there, or you can have an aunt to take care of you and love you. That becomes your mom. That becomes the adult caregiver and guidance. But it's something about labels that we put on people that we stick. It's programmed in our mind to stick the labels. And that's why the old African proverb says it takes a village to raise the child.
Yeah.
And that means everybody, mom, auntie, everybody. Because some cases your mom, biological, or your dad, biological, may not be there. And that's when the other village people step in, not the YMCA village people, but the other people step in, your aunties, your uncles, your cousins, and give that child that love and nourishment that they get. So I had to learn through myself that just because you don't get it from that person that society labels that person, you get it from other places. I didn't know till I was grown, and I felt that.
I got a question for you.
Well, before let me just say, I don't know if Althea saw her pop on, but we have Phoenix on here too.
Hey,
joined the call. I just want to make
sure y'all. I was just listening to conversation because you made a lot of points that were actually, a lot of wonderful points. And the thing is, again, it does take a village, and those around you are, can help you. But the thing is, if you don't have those around you, if you don't have anybody around you to fill that void, then you still have that void.
I
So
was
you
going
don't
to
have
ask
an
her,
uncle or father and a dad or a pastor or anybody that you can go to in that fatherly role. You are still lacking.
So how do you feel like you filled that void is what I want to ask Reese. How do you feel like you filled that void as a child?
Because that void, it was never missing because my granddaddy was always there. See, I thought I was missing something because I didn't have that dad. I had something better than the dad. I had a granddaddy. He was grand.
Exactly.
He was over there, but I didn't see that because everybody was saying, you don't got a daddy. You don't got a daddy. Kids and stuff are cruel. And you be like, well, where is my dad?
Yeah, yeah.
Do I have a dad? My mother, of course you got a dad. Well, where is he? Can you manifest
Kids
him for
are worse
me?
than adults.
Oh, yeah. And it was very, hurtful, but I didn't realize until I got grown that my grandfather took care of me. Or it could have been an uncle. When you go to live with your extended family, that's why they still your family. Those people that fill that gap and play that role becomes that. But we get stuck on labels. We get stuck on them shoes is just as good. They might not be, like my comedian friend said, they might not be Michael Jordan. They may be Montel Jordans, but you got some Jordans. You know what I'm saying? We get stuck on labels and in the box that they put us in.
Now, let me ask you one more question.
I get that.
Yes, sir.
I get that.
I want to ask you one more question. I want to know, like, what in your mind as a child, because and it's a blessing to me that because like you said, there's nobody more honest than a child. There's nobody more straightforward, more to the point, more unfiltered than a child. But what about your granddad or your family setup made it where despite what kids and stuff or peers were saying to you at that time, it's still, you were okay in your own mind?
I didn't get okay till I got little. When I used to cry, my grandfather would pat me up. Was like, I love you and I got you. I ain't gonna make sure nothing happened to you, But not until I got grown and understood, I wasn't lacking or missing that love. I still had
because your book fills in certain gaps that I would ask, but your book already fills in certain gaps, so it already explains certain things are okay.
When y'all read the book Shades of Blue, so y'all get that. And
that part,
I have to just say one thing though.
There's another book that I got coming out separate from Shades of Blue that talk about the male aspect of how Blue viewed the missing father. It's called My Father's Secrets, and that's
oh, wow.
That is going to be in depth. So all men should read it and stuff. And
that's interesting.
It's called My Father's Secrets. So I ain't gonna get that away, but it's some secrets.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say one thing though about grandparents, just to tack on to what you were saying. Specifically, I love my grandparents. Like I remember being a kid, and I love my mother. This nothing against my mother, but I remember being a kid and I would cry when we would leave my grandmother's house because I'm like, that's what I would do. Like I wanted my grandmother, and it would drive my mother up a wall. But my grandmother Phyllis was just like a really chill, loving.
I like that name.
Yeah,
like Phyllis Hyman. I like that name.
That's her American name. Her legitimate name, like on her birth certificate, was Philomena.
Oh wow,
it was 2 Italian.
Still pretty, still nice regardless. Yeah.
Yeah, her nickname was Red because she had red hair. But she was the nicest lady, and I can get why. Like again, I actually felt bad for kids who were getting poked at because they didn't, because their parents were in their life. And ironically enough, as you get older and you become teenagers, friggin' parents. You know what I mean? Like, I know I didn't get along with mine. I mean, I was constantly battling with my mother. I was wishing, I would say this, God forgive me for saying this, but I would look at my sister and go, why are they still together? Like, because they would just pick up sometimes.
That energy difference.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Going to my grandparents was a great thing. So let's keep going.
Can y'all
that
see
energy different?
We froze up. Wait a minute. Can y'all see me?
Yes, I can. It's coming back. Your screen froze for a second, but it's coming back now.
Okay.
You can still hear us, right?
was you completing did I come in? Was somebody completing a question?
Oh no, I was going to say she was making a comment pretty much about the difference in energy between like her parents and her grandparents, and that the feeling and that level of wisdom that I can even understand as a child that didn't know nothing about the world. That's what made me understand the definition of generations, like the time difference. I can feel you something about my grandmother or whatever compared to my mom, or whatever. I didn't have my granddad because he passed away when I was younger, but so feeling that difference between grandparents and moms, it's just a certain level of opulence or whatever word that you want to put on it that just it's just you can't even compare the two.
The thing is, okay, go ahead.
I'm gonna tell you what it is and why you can't compare the two. It's because when we're parents, because I'm a parent now, and I know I'm gonna make a better grandparent. It's because when parents, we make our mistakes, and by the time our grandchildren get here, we know better how, because we've been on the job so many years. You get parents makes mistakes, so we are hard on our parents until we become parents, and then we understand, wow, they had to learn. And then watch how your parents become grandparents. They are going to be better because they can tell you, because they've been practicing this for 36 years and they become a grandmother. They can tell you how not to do, because I hear every child say, you wasn't like that with me.
Oh man, I'm mad in today's time.
Because they got seasoned now. That's why they grandparents, they got elevated up the ladder when we bring our children into the world. And that's why they can tell you better. Okay, you need to do this for that child. You need to do that. Well, mama, how you know? Because I didn't listen to my mama and messed up. So that's how I can tell you what you need to do. And then you become a better, most grandparents, I ain't gonna say, a lot of them become a better protector or better. They know how to handle children better because they've been through it with their own children. It's experience. That's the level. That's the gap level. You coming from a place like you just have a child. You ain't got more experience than your mama. Your mama is the grandmama. She gonna tell you, Trey, this is what you need to do. Mm-hmm. See, it's the level of experience that separates the generations.
That part.
It's also the level. I was gonna say something like this. It's also the level of patience. Like you said, when you're a parent, you gotta always be in that mode of mom or dad. It's not saying that you can't spend time or give your children that space, because we tend to do it, but you gotta work. You gotta take care of the household. You gotta teach them. You gotta be, you gotta do different things. Grandma and grandpa don't got to do that because they did that with you. It's not their job to have to discipline them. Of course, they're going to teach them. Of course, they're going to correct them, but then they can spoil them too, and that's the difference. That's why most children rather be with their grandparents, if their grandparents got some sense, than be at home, because mommy and daddy, you get in trouble with mommy and daddy because I done told you. Grandma gonna say, come in now, I done told you now. You might get a popping, you might not. And then they still gonna hug and kiss you and spoil you. But that's the job of a grandparent. The grandparent has, like we said, that wisdom, that experience, and the patience. But they didn't have all of that at first with you. They loved you, but them grandbabies, that's their number, that's their second chance. You ain't got nothing coming when them grandbabies come. So, that's the great thing about it.
Yeah. Yes. Today's show, y'all. Let's get into today's show. I did want to show y'all the clip of Mavis Staple. She was 83 years old and still tearing the stage up. I want to be 83 and
wrong with that now.
On the stage. She's so good. So I want to give my hats off, because we was at a show yesterday on Father's Day. It was Maple Staple, trombone shorty, excellent performer. That dude was awesome. And Ziggy Marley.
The lung capacity on those guys.
Yes.
That was mind-blowing. He held a note
to salute
on
them.
His trombone. For how long? It was like 3-5 minutes. I don't even know.
Like forever. That's all I know.
Is that the same guy that used to be outside Gallery Place? Is that him?
Possibly. Rich Rod, good morning, Maxwell. Good morning, Kenny.
No, I don't think it's that's that one. But I just want to salute them. And before we dive into the juicy part and the meat of the show, it's going to be, guess what, you guys? That's what the show topic is today.
You said Juneteenth today, right?
That's right, yeah. Juneteenth. Bing, 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 bing. Juneteenth. What video do we got set up, Molly, just to show off for Juneteenth? For those of y'all who don't know, out there, there's some people out there that don't know. White, black, Puerto Rican, everybody, this is Juneteenth.
Of U.S. history, put a bookmark here. January 1st, 1863, the date President Abraham Lincoln, with one proclamation, orders and declares that all persons held as slaves shall be free. What the history books may fail to mention is what happens to these words once they arrived on the shores of Galveston, Texas, more than 2 years after Lincoln wrote them. In the 1860s, word didn't travel as fast as it does now. And in 1865, months after General Robert E. Lee's surrender, word of the end of the Civil War had yet to hit the southern state and its 250,000 slaves. And then came General Gordon Granger's arrival in Galveston on June 19, 1865. And General Order Number 3 came with it that said all slaves are free. Juneteenth was born. While Juneteenth celebrations continued to varying degrees in the U.S. for decades, it would take until 1980 for Texas to become the first state to declare it as a holiday. Today, 47 states recognize it and the District of Columbia. A chapter of our history far too long left out of the books designed to document it, but no longer. Juneteenth, or as the National Museum of African American History and Culture now calls it, our country's second Independence Day.
The second Independence Day that only apparently 28 states recognize and the other 26 don't, or I might have the numbers vice versa. That was just he just signed that into legislation last year. But some states, the federal funding, I was reading that the government does not, there's not enough federal funding in that state to allow the employees to be off. But my question is, how do we celebrate Juneteenth now that it's here? And what I mean by that, like 4th of July, we celebrating and we fireworks and cookouts and picnics, right? Memorial Day, we doing the flags, the roses on the unknown soldiers, and celebrating the veterans. Thanksgiving, we doing the turkey and all of that. Christmas, I know, giving gifts. New Year's, we doing something different. So how do we, as a country, how should we go forward to celebrate Juneteenth? Panel?
It's free day. Everything's free.
Everything's free. Everybody got, some people got to work in some states like North Dakota,
on June,
South Dakota, and Hawaii.
On Juneteenth, it's a tax-free day. Tax-free. You go shopping, no taxes. On Juneteenth, you don't get taxes withheld from your paycheck. How about that?
If you have to work, you get time and a half, a free day.
Right. On Juneteenth, you get paid without taxes being withheld.
Now, how do we do that? Some states don't even recognize Juneteenth.
It's federal. They said 47 states. And when we looked it up this morning, it said that federal employees will have the day. It's a federal holiday. But again, private businesses or other organizations can offer it as a holiday to their employees.
And that means, they have the choice. They could give it to you or they can't give it to you. But what if
last year, some companies, when this initially became like a holiday, they announced it. Some companies just did a floating holiday because it was too quick of a turnaround for them to institute it, to roll it out as a holiday for their employees in their like payrolls, the time card, whatever. But other companies gave it to the employees as a day off. So while yes, it's a federal holiday, keep in mind that there are, like we know, every state handles things differently because the states have the choice to do that, I believe.
I don't think there's too much that I would do in the physical. I know there's a video that's about to pop up. There's not too much that I would do in the physical stance. Let me see. I see New York, Virginia, West Virginia, Ohio, Georgia, Atlanta, Texas, New Mexico, Colorado, Nevada, Oregon, Washington, South Dakota. I forgot what any is. Illinois. what is MO? I forgot
And
what
then
MO.
I went to Nebraska.
I forgot what
And
MO.
then-
I see Maine up there. I see oh no, that's not I don't know what's that next to. That's Connecticut. That's Rhode Island.
MO is Missouri.
Missouri. That's what it is.
And what was the
Utah with
other
the
one you couldn't
UT.
share?
Well, MN is not. Minnesota is above next to North Dakota,
Yeah, that's
and between
Minnesota,
Wisconsin
South
and North
Dakota.
Dakota. Okay.
Yeah,
Some of
yeah.
them I can't remember no more.
Are those the ones that
yeah,
do or
Michigan.
don't celebrate it? Are you reading the ones that do?
No, these are the what says all state government workers. Some state government
ME
workers.
is
Or the
Maine.
orange
It-
one.
I'm
Good
assuming
point.
orange is where they are in vouch for, because it's not gonna.
Yeah,
I'm assuming that because it can't be 3 states that are in vouch for, because that's not true, and it's not the
All
gray
in a-
one. So orange has to be the ones that are in favor of it.
Right. All
And I would
the
celebrate
orange to me-
businesses, programs, and things that I would attend, help celebrate or help with programs that celebrate something that because I don't necessarily go out and have fireworks just because it's July 4th or or do this or do that just because it's Christmas. So I don't like anyone telling me what I need to celebrate and when to celebrate it and all that. I don't like that. So I do that all year by, number one, supporting more Black businesses, giving a little bit more of my trust into Black businesses and allowing them to present their product and stuff versus us automatically. Even Black people do it. Black people do it too. We be like, I don't know, I don't know if I'm gonna pay the $80, but you'll go over across the street and pay $120. So let's live in that. I don't need nobody to celebrate. I don't need nobody to put up no balloons or put up no nothing, because obviously our history is not set on celebrating us in a positive light for everything. I'm glad doors are opening for a lot. I'm glad times have changed, but we're not in a position to be looking for anyone to celebrate it with us. We need to celebrate ourselves, and those that see the energy or positive light of what's coming after that will celebrate it with us.
That's right. I would just say that we need more events like Louisa's Tea Party over the weekend. Oh yeah,
Things like that.
Blue Phoenix had a tea. It was nice, and what she did, and it was like a safe space where you could just leave all your booze, and it was a nice gathering. Louisa, you could fill them in on what that was about, or your teaching, what you was hoping to accomplish with the tea party, and then hopefully you guys can come that didn't come this past Saturday can come when she have it again in September.
If we all keep pushing things like that, like what Phoenix has going on, if we all keep pushing things that give men a space to relax and unwind, give women a space to relax and unwind, it doesn't always involve liquor and weed and this and that, like positive settings that are even child friendly, even family friendly, but anything that's pushing positive light for everyone, because even though Juneteenth is about, obviously this specific subject is about people of color, it's about that celebration of your life and bringing positivity. I feel like pushing it, bringing it in, but pushing it out at the same time.
Tell me what Juneteenth means to you. What do you know and understand of Juneteenth, and why is it important? Because you're young.
It's our team celebration compared to the actual date that was given. So the actual date is given is not tied to our actual release of freedom.
Tell the people.
We don't know. Well, I mean, we know what the subject matter is. Those that are watching, everybody
knows. Everybody know, because some people don't know. Really?
Well, they were talking about slavery and all of that. So they already know the subject. If they watch the video, if those that are viewing have seen it, for those that may tuned in and just jumped to this 35:29 mark and didn't see the video, then you might not know it's about slavery. But it's July 4th is not our actual date of freedom. That's celebratory for different reasons. So we're taking the Juneteenth and making it, that's our day of actual release and actual freedom when it was declared. It might have been celebrated at a certain time, but when it was actually happening on paper is what the celebratory part is about.
Right. Juneteenth was actually the emancipation or the abolishment of slavery written by Abraham Lincoln, but they didn't hear it.
Everybody didn't know it for a long time.
2 years later. So that was 250,000 people still enslaved.
And if I'm not letting you read, I don't expect you to, know. I expect I'm hiding that from you. You still working for me for free, and you don't know that you can walk right off this plot of land. You know, so I would do it too if I was the slave owner. In that time I would have done the same thing, and I would around the corner, but you wouldn't have read nothing. Yeah, I understand. You got to look at both sides of why everything exists.
No, that's true
They don't
though.
need to
That's
agree
true
on
though,
what I'm
Trey.
a black person, so not-
That's
No,
wrong.
but
No,
that is exactly how it went,
I'm
and
understanding
also too,
the shoes of the owners.
yeah, but also
Yeah.
too,
You know,
they didn't have access to news like we did.
yeah, there
Like
was
we
no
do.
nothing
So,
to spread that type of information.
yeah, so like Trey said, even if they knew and they weren't allowed to read, I would, it took for somebody to come in and say, "Hey, y'all free,"
Yeah.
and
If somebody can hide
in
it
order
from
for
you
them.
in today's time, if you can have 10 people, 15 people work on your apartment or your house, and you ain't got, there's something about a contract y'all wrote that says, oh, they gotta pay off a debt to you, or they gotta do something where you pay them little to nothing or nothing at all for a little amount of time, and there's something they can easily read that says, oh shoot, I ain't gotta do this. They're gonna roll out. So naturally, you're gonna hide information from people anyway. It's a blessing what time we're in now to have information just pop right up on your phone. You wake up with news reports and newsletters, so, compared to that time where you can just be a couple states away and not even know something is going on. So I like the history part. I like that you brought this, the subject up and stuff.
But
Our
these people
sponsor,
a few years
our
ago,
sponsor has popped up.
Hey, Miss
Joined
Misha,
our
if you ain't here.
comments. Good morning, Miss Misha.
there was a few, before we get to the comments, there was a few years ago where I seen the article and I seen the documentary of this lady was stating that she was still slaves in the 80s, that they were stuck on the farm or plantation. They didn't even know down there in Mississippi or Alabama, one of them states. I know y'all seen it. I can think of the documentary.
Well, the fact that you mentioned deep
1980s.
Oh, there was a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah,
It was
still in the
deep
80s
south.
that
Deep
she was-
south.
Right.
Yeah, they didn't know that they were free.
Deep south
They were
is a
still working
whole
on this
nother
land.
place, child.
The name
Oh,
of the
yeah.
plantation, oh gosh, I can't think of it. It's right on
The
top of
next
my
gas
head.
station, 10 miles.
And the lady told a
Do you
story
like my mouth?
how they slept in barns, and she said their father's body was their heat. They would lay their head on their father's body. It was the pillow, they pillow.
Help me.
And they ate from troughs. It was really bad. And they showed the documentary.
Disgusting.
These people work on the land and give shacks to live in.
If you drop the link in the group chat after this, I'd love to watch it. That'd be something I can lay around, relax, and watch that.
So when I saw that, I was like, I can't believe that. This lady, I was like, this, oh gosh, I'm gonna think of it. Oh, if anybody out there, Misha, if you know what I'm talking about, oh gosh, I got to go back and look, because I was watching, I was like, I can't believe this. But they did a documentary on them and the people that was in that area. What was the name of that farm? Well, anyhow, I mean, they didn't know, and they were still working. Like that movie Alice. I know y'all saw that movie with Keke Palmer, and she was working on the plantation still in the 70s.
Yeah.
And they did not know that she was free. She was beat, raped, whipped, and all of that stuff. And they did not know she was free until she ran away from the plantation and hit the road and saw people riding by. She was like, what is this? So
yeah, that's crazy, because they was getting down, watching some disco get downs and all that. Everybody boogieing down, and you in a whole other area, and you're closed off from the world. That's a cult. Like, that's real scary. Like, to not be right around information like that.
It was
to be right around information like that and not have access to it. If you don't know it's there, you're not gonna know.
And generations of family. But Juneteenth, now that we have it, now that we are emancipated, and some states celebrate it, some states don't. But my question to y'all is how will we celebrate it now moving forward? Look, Trey said that he wouldn't do pretty much nothing but chill out. Michelle said, let everything be free of taxes. Louisa, what do you say?
I said support Black businesses and all of that stuff. You said chill out.
Yes, you did, baby.
You said chill out. I didn't say chill out.
I'm sorry. You said you was chill out.
It's okay. What do you think, Phoenix? I don't know if Phoenix is still right here.
No, I'm here. Honestly, the only thing you can do is just reflect on what this is about. Everybody want to have a cookout. Everybody want to do this. You know, it's not even all about that. It's about but just respecting or understanding the history and acknowledging it and doing your best to just make sure it doesn't go back that way. I mean, you know, that's all you can do. Reflect.
Yeah,
look at yourself. See how the world or the society has changed, but not all that much. And
I think we all need to work on doing what you're doing, like having more spaces that I'm letting you talk. But I just want to say, I think that's what one thing I was saying was we need more spaces that you're providing, you know, for women and men, like separate sometimes or together, whatever. But I think we need more spaces that you're providing. We need more places to relax and unwind and get some of the shit off of our backs. That's you know.
Well, yeah, that's and that too can be like you said, another form of reflection and just planning and understanding what's important. And so that's why. Well, actually, that's one of the reasons why I began my tea parties, because I had Blue Phoenix. Okay, so a lot of people don't know that the Blue Phoenix was formed because of me going through my own healing journey. And I started the Blue Phoenix to help or to blog my journey and to help others along the way. Because sometimes, sometimes people go through things and they don't know that other people are going through it too. You feel alone.
Yeah.
And so I started talking about what I was dealing with in my journey and what I'm trying to feel and understand, so other people can know that I'm dealing with it too. You're not by yourself. Nobody's perfect. We all hurt, and it may be different, but we all hurt. So the tea parties came about because my mom used to throw tea parties for us when we were a little girl, when I was a little girl, and I've always wanted to do one. And then I found out that not a lot of people have been to a tea party before. But then I said I was going to incorporate my tea parties to help adults, excuse me, y'all. Every time I go to a place, to incorporate helping ladies come back to where they're supposed to be. Helping women understand their position, not necessarily as underneath somebody, the power that we have as women. To understand that we have the power to hurt the nation or to heal the nation. But it starts with us first. I also am doing this. What'd she say?
Oh, she was saying that the name of the woman, something, I forgot the name already, but Louise
Walls Miller.
Yeah, May Louise.
She didn't get it to 1963.
Yeah, Wells Miller didn't get it. 1963. That's crazy.
Yeah, and also for the men, because like you said, Trey, y'all do not have a space. You don't have a space of freedom. You don't have a space of comfort. You don't have a safe space, a brave space. And so I want to create that space for men. But in order for me to do that, I have to help the ladies get themselves together. Because if we don't get ourselves together, we'll never make that space.
Sure, we got
we'll never welcome y'all in that space. Y'all do, but I can't tell y'all. I can guide you, but I can speak directly to women because I'm a woman.
Yeah,
I can help guide you, I can help guide men in their feminine side, the spiritual part, because the spiritual part of you is the feminine part. That's the part you have to be vulnerable.
People don't know that, and that's the problem. So when it comes to things like, of course, we're not necessarily looking to have no tea party. You know what I mean? We ain't trying to necessarily have property. That's something cute. That's that's light. That's social thing for females to do. But at the same time, I need men, especially our black men in general, all men. But I need our black men to understand that it's okay to go to a space like that without being a punk or a weak one, or you know, we associate relaxation and the femininity, I guess you would say, the feminine side of a man with the soft side, the self-care.
Punkish,
all feminine is really supposed to mean when it comes to a man is that self-care side. That
vulnerable part of you.
But we don't.
And
We don't.
that's what people don't. Because you guys have been made to think that you don't deserve it. You can't cry, you can't talk, you can't smell, you can't think, you can't look, you can't hear, you can't do nothing. You can barely exist. And so this is why I'm creating this space. Hey, Nick Angel, I'm creating this space.
It was Miss. I'm gonna go back to the comment. Miss Georgette. I can't remember what it said. I don't want to say her name incorrectly.
Sampson,
But
how are we celebrating our Juneteenth? Yeah, Georgette Sampson. How are we celebrating our Juneteenth day?
Wait a minute. We both can't speak at the same time.
I can easily see it. I just wasn't sure.
Only one of y'all gonna read it. Because I
stopped talking already. I already stopped talking as soon as I heard her reading. She's reading.
Michelle, go back and read it over. What she say?
We're cool. It was Georgette. I got them on my laptop so I could just see it easier. That's the only reason why I started reading Trey. Georgette Sampson, how are we celebrating our Juneteenth day with Pride Day, and who choose its day for us? Why we didn't have any say on this day? But Juneteenth is the actual day it happened, correct?
Well, yeah, that's the timestamp for when it actually. I understand with other things like Friday that we kind of not made up but created.
This
so
is not
I
Pride
understand.
Day, Pride month.
Month.
It's month. Pride is the whole month. It's not Pride Day.
Oh well, I didn't even know that, to be honest. But but still, it's something that is created. That this is something that is historical that happened. So they're attaching that date of Juneteenth to that actual date of our week. So for that reason, that's the reason why it's But I know what you mean, though. I know what you mean.
I guess she's saying that why is Juneteenth in that month, the same month for Pride? I had asked that earlier. Why did they pick that month to celebrate Pride? Remember, I said some things should be in this month by itself. Like there's nothing else celebrated in July but 4th of July.
But then that gets into the people's psyche, because I don't care what you celebrate. I don't care if you celebrate being a penguin all month. If I'm happy celebrating what I'm celebrating, the two don't have to merge. There's no spotlight. There's none. That's our mind being in the wrong place. So we're worried about how everybody else is celebrating it instead of what we're celebrating.
Right. I guess she's trying to get one to overpower the other because it's important. Both is important. Both is celebrating emancipation of something, a freedom of something. The Pride Month is celebrating the freedom of coming out.
But at the same time,
there are gay fathers. There are gay fathers out there.
that part too, but just like the same time at a basketball game, you cheering for your team just like the other people cheering for their team. So it's still the same game. You still in the same thing at the same time. So that part, I see what she's saying, but that part is still kind of irrelevant to me because I don't have to like the Brooklyn Nets or something. I don't have to like your team. Like I don't have to like what the 76ers or whoever you like. I don't have to like who you like, but I'm celebrating what I'm coming for, what I paid my ticket for, what I showed up for. So that's how I feel like we should think.
But Juneteenth is a federal holiday. Pride Month isn't a holiday. It's just an observance. So Juneteenth, that's just two different things. It's apple to oranges, but they're both fruits. One, like I said, one is a federal holiday that was signed into legislation, and the other one is an observance, just like we do. March the 1st celebrates the whole month of March. It's supposed to be Women's Month. It's not a federal holiday, but it's an observance of women of all shapes, sizes, and colors. Our contribution to the world. That if y'all didn't know that, the month of March is, it's the difference between a federal holiday and an observance. One we looking at, we recognize, and one, I guess they're actually putting money behind to seal that stamp sealed. So that's the difference. If y'all correct me if I'm wrong,
I think you're right. The only thing I would like, I don't know, was somebody else going to speak? I don't want to talk over anybody.
It's Miss Misha commented the Stonewall riots in New York City was in June. That is the roots of Pride and Pride Month. And then Kimberly Brown says, good morning. Hey, Trayvon.
Hey, Miss Kim.
And Miss Angel is on as well.
Wait a minute.
Good morning, everybody that's watching.
What was the center
of the Stonewall? The Stonewall riots in New York
yeah.
City was that happens in June.
Yeah.
So I mean, the rainbow means unity. I mean, it's the rainbow unity flag.
They
So
got kicked out of the disco, and they was
unity
like,
in the
"Wait a
Canadian
minute."
community. Yeah.
What I would like for people to do is apply because what I do is I'm gonna speak on what I do. What I would like for people to do, and what I would like to see more people do, is to take these holidays. I don't take anything. Like I said, I don't like being told what to do or when to do it. I apply the feeling and the celebratory part of these holidays and apply it to every day. I'm gonna honor women every day. Every time I see a woman, I'm gonna open the door for her. Every time I see you with a whole bunch of bags, I don't care who you are, I'm gonna offer you, man. Would you mind? I don't need nothing from you. I don't need no money, but do you need some help? It's natural. So you're supposed to live like this every day. Every holiday is only really supposed to be observance. It's cool that we have it off. We ain't got to go to work and whatever, but it's supposed to only be an observance. Let's not make it an act. I see a lot of men that ain't shit all year. And then when Mother's Day come around, and you got flowers in your hand and shit. So
seriously,
I want people to live this way their whole existence. Don't celebrate. If you're a person of color or whatever, be celebrating other people of color or celebrating Black businesses or people that are trying to launch this and launch that. Or if you're even if your ass gay or whatever, I don't know, celebrate whatever you want to celebrate throughout the year. Don't just be gay and all and all this and all that, or don't just be Black this part of the month and all that. Just let's do it all year. Let's work on doing it all year, and then it all becomes an observant. Then there is no what's celebrated more, what's viewed more, what's online more. There is none of that because everybody's already living in that.
That's good. That's good. That was good what you just said. And you're absolutely right. We should practice on being kind and understanding to one another on a regular, being proud of whoever you are on a regular, and being we need to do that on a regular. So I guess that's what we could do moving forward to celebrate Juneteenth. Make it all year long. Be emancipated, be free on a regular. Being you.
Put your people on. Like if you see someone with a business, I see so many people trying to launch small businesses and they get no support at all because it's not already established or whatever. Let's be real and really practice what we preach is what I see a lot of. It makes me even not like Mother's Day. It almost makes me not want to get anything on that day and wait till the next day just because I don't want nobody to tell you when to expect something from me. Why would I not be giving it to you all year? Why would I not be giving you flowers? I seen those the kind you like. Why am I waiting till this time to be like, oh my God, I love you. All these gifts. Oh my God, it's not. I don't like that. Yes. Do it all year.
I'm the same way, Trey. I am the same way. Don't give me nothing on Mother's Day or Valentine's Day. Consider me love for me the whole time.
Yes,
that's right.
And I ain't get one dime. I ain't get one black rose all year. And then you want to be, now I'm celebrating. Don't let nobody tell you.
Right, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I'm holding this book up in support of Black-owned businesses. Y'all don't know, but the Morning Mac Show is a Black-owned company. Right. We are the Morning Mac Show. The people that you see here, Molly produced it, and we running with it. And this book, Shades of Blue, a Black-owned published woman. So if y'all support all year long, ain't got to be nothing. This is look. Trey got his book. Well, everybody on this panel got the book because we're in support of each other. That's what we do. And if y'all can help support the show by giving donations, Miss Married is our sponsor right now. She supports the show every month. She sponsors us every month. But we are looking for more sponsors, more donations, more, to help us keep everything going and moving forward so that we can elevate and go to other platforms and so we can be a blessing to other communities and do other things for other people as well.
I think that's so right.
But we're trying to make it on up there. We will get up there. God
for those that I'm sorry.
No, I was just saying, God willing, we rising now. We're going to get there eventually. But with your help and love and support, make us get there a little bit faster. Trey, what was you saying?
I was just gonna say that when y'all hear, and I say this in a couple shows, when y'all hear the word donation, it can be $1. It could be $2. I don't want nobody to hear donation and think that somebody's trying to get paid. Nobody's trying to get a Bentley off of this. Nobody's trying to buy a Mercedes. Nobody's trying to do that. But if you really are somebody who views the show, respects the show, whenever you can, $1, $2, $5, $3, 50 cents, 50 cents by itself, you know, let's really actually start doing this, because I see a lot of people. I love the ones that I see, like Malik. Let's see, Malik, NYC Playboy, DJ Slicky Woo Boo, Alan, Kenneth, a lot of the one Miss Kim. Shoot, it's a whole bunch of names, honestly, that I can't remember off the top of my head. But those that watch on a constant, thank you for just doing that alone. And we can encourage each person to share with one person, for real. Just share one person that you know. Just encourage one person. That alone is how we get organic viewing. That's how we get organic love, you know. So that's what I would encourage. $1, 50 cents, $2. I'm pretty sure everybody got the means to do something. You know, even if you're just watching the show, even if you don't have $1, even if you don't have 50 cents, you know, start small and let's do this on a constant. Let's live like this.
Right. And I want to add, I looked on Facebook and didn't know that I had over 5,000 followers. If I have over 5,000 followers, how come I don't have 5,000 viewers viewing in, even people in checking in on the show? I'm trying.
Well, the algorithm too. That's one thing that we can talk about in the backgrounds, which I'll teach you about a little bit more or talk to you about, is the algorithm. So a lot of things with posting, things being shadow banned, which means it's not allowed to be necessarily put out on the forefront. It's kind of kept back from being viewed. Sometimes it's a lot of different reasons. So you can't always equate, because I know people that got 10 million followers and they got $5 in their account. So it doesn't, you know, the numbers let's not equate that to your success or where you are, because your show is everything it is without the 5,000. Your show is everything it needs to be with the 15 people that be commenting on the regular, people that are always watching. That's enough. Let's start with what we got. Fuck what everybody else, excuse my language, everybody. Fuck with what everybody else is talking about, and we're gonna start right here.
No, but that's real. That's real.
It is.
Yeah,
real.
fuck all that shit. Doing music, and the only reason I'm saying I know some of that and saying some of that, because doing music and paying people to record your tracks and produce your whatever you're trying to produce, and for people to, you know, not want you to have a leg up above them, and they're doing this, they're kind of in the same realm as you, so they want to help you, they want to get your money, but they don't want to, you know. So I'm used to being around people that claim support and don't really do anything to support. So I like to go with what I already see in front of me versus what I want. I want to go with what I see in front of me, which is the people that do view, the people that do comment. And we do more to celebrate those people, and maybe have a role of the people that we see, you know, on here all the time, show more love to them. Maybe that'll encourage them to have one person that they want to share with. You know, share one person a day. Each person that views, share one person a day. And I'll just keep it, you know, get it going.
Okay. Thank you, Trey. Thank you.
No problem, Ma. No problem, Ma.
And I appreciate everybody.
The book like that.
I know.
You need to have a backdrop behind you that has shades of blue rolling behind. That would be dope.
She was still holding it up.
Yeah, she forgot. Like, she's just like Marlboro. Like, she just.
That's product placement. That's right.
That's product placement. You need to sit something behind you, like on your stand and stuff behind you.
Something behind you. That's what we have to do.
Sorry, you know. Yeah.
I like for back off for so much shades of blue. Yeah. Oh, we're gonna have a Shades of Blue reading coming up too soon, people. So everybody can get their favorite chapter, and you can ask questions about it. You know, about blue. But you guys got to remember, Blue is written in the mindset of a 5-year-old telling her story. This is a little girl telling a story of what stuff that she went through. So some things she ain't gonna understand. It's gonna be on the level of a child. So y'all got to remember, the first book is written in a child's mind. The second book is written in an adult mind. You understand
why things happen, and we put the pieces together.
You know, and that's what Blue The second book is Blue make. You see all the mistakes Blue made. You can't blame it on mommy, daddy, or nobody. The second book is Blue mistake. So that's why it's deeper and darker. Because that's Blue just coming out, wilding out. You know, and then the third book is when it's Blue finding herself. So each shade of blue is the Shades of Blue series. And each book is a different shade because it's a different level. It's a different elevation. It's a different vibration. Y'all feel me? It's trying.
Oh, that's right. Hey.
So, and it got something for everybody because I know Blue is everybody's child. It could be anybody's child. That's why she Blue. She could be white, black, yellow, green, purple, but she's blue.
Right. Yeah, that's right.
I gotta get that.
Red, blue, purple, orange. Yeah.
Yellow, blue. I was waiting for Hakeem because we have an event going off tonight, but we haven't heard from him. We text Freedom. Is it on the flyer? Do we still got the flyer for tonight?
If we have the flyer, we can still look at it. I shot him out. I think he's pulling it up now. This is the open mic jam for celebrating Juneteenth. There'll be food and drinks and fun there, of course. It's going to be hosted by Jamin Darnell. DJ Function will be there as well. Each and every Monday, this event is happening. It is on 15806 Livingston Road. And this is Akakeek, Maryland. This is actually down the road from me. So I'm actually starting to because it's I don't have a car, so I'm doing things that are local. So it's nice to be able to celebrate something I can actually get to without issue. So doors open at 7 p.m. This is like I said, 15806 Livingston Road, Akakeek, Maryland, 20607. I would encourage y'all to screenshot or maybe ask Reese, Molly, or somebody the information if you want to see it again. But from what he said, it's an awesome event. Yeah. You know, it's the Lions Den is the Lions Den Collective is the source of this. Is the foundation of this celebration and this event.
I'm ready.
Yeah.
Free entry, text Freedom to 240-788-0173. For more information, text or call 240-534-8662. And there's also another number there available.
For free entry, y'all text Trey. You text that. You check that number. Freedom.
Well, I'm not doing that right now because I'm using my phone that I would be texting over. Yeah, so yeah. I mean, ain't nothing wrong with that. That's what we do. Hold each other accountable. Make sure that we're doing, following through with stuff.
We're gonna meet you today, Trey. Get to meet Trey today, man. I'm gonna be down there, so I'll be in your area. Hopefully, meet MP and
that's what's up.
Ooh, is that Louisa? Ooh, we're gonna have the morning back show gonna be in the house. Oh, we got to go live. We should go live for Juneteenth, y'all.
Nah.
We can do that.
Nah. We ain't doing all that.
We ain't doing that.
We trying to enjoy ourselves, man. I gotta work, man. I gotta record and everything. I can't go live.
Well, I could go live and just walk around.
And then that sucks because people ain't gonna wait for the
on your phone.
I know.
I'm about to start smacking people's phones out their hand when I'm doing recording. That's why the comedians say no phones allowed. No phones allowed because now the actors out there put it out on DVD or streaming. And I
also want to watch it because we don't understand. I ain't even trying to talk to you on Molly. My bad.
No,
I don't think, in defense of the person that's the videographer and the person that's producing the show, I realized and thought about it because cameras, and I'm somebody who watches performances and stuff a lot of free performances. Other people had to pay $1,000 or whatever, $500 for. But that takes away from the money of the source, like the comedians, the acts, that kind of, even though the person is not necessarily selling something at the moment, they might not be selling a DVD or a special. I feel like it still takes away from that because people can watch and make their own assumption without actually going there physically or paying for, to see it physically. So, I do kind of try to not record everything. I'm trying not to post everything, Somebody might have a bad set and you recorded them that one time and now that bad set is all over the internet. So I try to be a little bit more, and I try to watch it too. I'm tired of everybody holding their phone up, every time something going on instead of just watching it.
I've done it. Are y'all saying my wives are crap?
Nah, I been watching your lives. You be in the car most of the time dancing and shit.
I
So
think
let's get
so.
MP. And before we go, though, I want to let all y'all know that these months that we celebrate are holidays as well. June is a holiday. You know, a lot of people don't know, like, just by we saying we're in the month of June, that's a celebration. Because June is actually named after the goddess. That's a girl god. Yeah, she's
Oh.
Juno. It's named after the goddess Juno. She's a Greek god, and she basically married the chief Roman god Jupiter. You know, so it's funny. Even July, everybody know that was named after Julius Caesar. And all of these months is basically holidays. August, September,
Yeah,
October.
What's September named after? I didn't.
Yeah, we can get into that another day. I just want y'all to do that. I put that out there so you to do the research. You know?
For you to look up the research. Everything has a reason and a purpose. And even these holidays, like you say, Christmas and everything, is not the story that you think it is. Halloween is not the story that you think it is. Easter is not the story that you think it is. All these different things,
So now I'm going to go back and research these months because I always say I'm celebrating the whole month of September. I need to know what September is.
Yeah.
All I know is that's where I was born. What it means.
July,
and
August,
and everything. Oh, go ahead, my bad.
No, go ahead. You said everything.
Everything that we celebrate, a lot of that, a lot of things that we accept in our everyday lives, mark off on our calendars and all that stuff, has negative connotation behind it. It's not great at all when we get to the source of what we're doing. So, you know, if somebody, for instance, likes astrology, some people might be like, oh, astrology, I'm not using it as a Bible, but I know where and who all of these things are attached to that I'm reading. So, you know, like he was mentioning Greek gods and stuff, a lot of our existence and a lot of our ways of living right now is off of Greek mythology. And a few other sources, but a lot of our lives is not even American life and all that. It's not.
And Greek mythology is based off Egyptian stuff. So.
Everything got a thing. The Irish is the Celtic, the Vikings, the Norsemen. My son Tyree is in all that mythology stuff, and he got all the different books and all the different. It's just not Greek. Because every culture or set of people have mythology. Mm-hmm. So that would be interesting.
Did not worship no other god, but every month people worshiping all these other gods. They don't even know it. And they be like, oh yeah, I'm this zodiac sign. I'm this zodiac sign. Thank you.
Wow.
Like it's still the same. It's just so much, man. People gotta learn. And it don't bother me. I'm just happy y'all talking about Juneteenth now, and people starting to put some type of light to the story that happened. But I think it's one day, you know, and it's one night, and it just keep repeating it. So it's like using a cup. So they think like when things happen that after every 30 days or 365 days, a million years, once you use a cup over and over, you could put the same amount of juice or water in it. After a while, that cup would get dirty, or it just start to do things that virtually, or a hole might eventually appear in it. But things gonna happen. That's what happened to the earth. Every day it do the same thing, but eventually too much pollution over here, it might rain here and there, but it's one day. And if we all was to think about that, we all got the same birthday. I mean, it's really one day. We already supposed to be celebrating one day, one night.
This is one long day. I guess what Molly's saying that when you pour something in the cup, you got that one cup, and it's just time that it depletes. That we go out in this time. So we still in this one cup. It's just one day that we're depleting out of that cup. That cup isn't empty until it's empty, and that's still that same one cup
until it's over,
and it's continuing. Okay, time is continuing. Wow, so time itself is an illusion. We breaking it down and putting it days instead of just letting it run. We breaking it down by the dark, the light, the moon, the dark, the up rising. Okay, I got you. I see what you're saying.
Over and over every day.
Go ahead.
Oh, we still got, don't forget about Tuesday, y'all. You know,
that was Freaky Friday.
Freaky Friday, then my bad. We ain't there yet, y'all. They're getting excited.
Yeah, they are.
Okay, hosted by the Gwen Factor and her friends. I see Reese up there. I see Terrence up there. I see Dale Smoot up there. I see Miss Michelle up there. Every time I see Gwen do a show, she always keeps a good energy going.
Yes.
So
every
I'm
time I
excited to see that. This
is awesome. Every time I see Terrence on a flyer, I think of him sleeping.
Bar 210, bro. This is Bar 210 on Indian Head Highway in Maryland, everybody. The doors open at 8 p.m. It's free admission. Show starts at 8:30. This is at 6971 Indian Head Highway, Brownsville, Maryland. Right now, maybe a block away from me. Not far, well, close enough to Reese and Miss Michelle for them to pop over me. That's how I met them in the first place. But it's called Stand-Up Comedy by the Gwen Factor and Friends. Tacos, tequila, and Tom Cruise. Them tacos actually do be good. So shout out to Kim with the tacos. I will give her that.
You get it free if you mention Reese. Mention me, you get it free, and you get $5 tacos and $5 margaritas. But you got to come say, Reese told me come in. You got to bust through. I heard this on the Morning Mac show. Trey Vaughn told me to come in.
Ma, we said this last time. No gaslight, Ma. No gaslight.
I credit you now.
It's the truth.
Free admission on the thing.
Free. Reese got 2 E's. Reese got 3 E's. Free got 2 E's. Reese.
Right.
Free, not just coming on down. But mention my name. Mention that you heard it on the show. Yes, that's what you do. Mention that you heard it here on the Morning Mac show. That's what you do.
Peace, man. We back tomorrow, man. Same time as always, 10:30 to 11:30. Be out of here. Love y'all.
Love you
guys.
Talking in the back room, people. In the back room.
We'll be in the back room.
In the back room.